What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/EntitledParents.
This story's called Entitled Mom Tattles on Me for Doing What's Right for Me. A little backstory. Entitled Mom is a widow I dog sit for because she's lonely and her own son avoids her like the plague and she doesn't have many friends. I used to feel bad for her until I realized why she doesn't have many friends and her son is awful to her. Here's the cast. Entitled mother, awful dog lady. Grown son, her grown-up son, who she always complains is so mean to her. He doesn't play a huge part in this story, but oh man, am I sorry for him. Me, a recovering pushover. Mom, my very awesome and loving mother who understands me. I started dog sitting this summer and it went south very fast. I can't be around dogs anymore, and even seeing pictures of them makes me anxious. Her dogs are one of the main causes of this. Whenever she leaves, they think that she's dead and go into mourning. Attempted to throw themselves down the stairs, drank 3 times their weight in water, and projectile vomited all over me and the furniture, which I had to clean, and came inside to rub bloody diarrhea all over the floor because they had worms that hadn't been treated. They are horribly trained, smell awful, and their mouths and teeth are so nasty that it makes me want to gag. Her dogs are so old that I have to carry them down the stairs so they can pee on the deck because they can't walk far enough to get to the grass. She always dismisses my concerns as them just missing me. Every time I watch dogs, things get worse and worse. I could write a book with my dog-sitting horror stories. So basically, I can't watch any dogs without having a mental breakdown, and most of my customers understood this and stopped asking me to dog sit. Not Entitled Mother. At the end of September, she'd asked me if I could watch over her 2 very old, incredibly sickly little dogs from this Friday up to next Sunday. 10 days. I tried to tell her that I didn't think so and that I was trying to quit dog sitting, but she refused to let me give her back her house key. Just in case, she said. Extremely weirded out, I forgot about this and went on with my life. I've graduated and am trying to find an actual job, and it's really hard to do that when I'm scheduling myself around dogs. Hence, another reason why I quit. I'd finally found a temporary job that was 4 days in a row and 13 hours a day. It left me exhausted and drained, and I had to miss Thanksgiving with my family. So all I wanted to do on Tuesday was relax and take a day to recover. Because on top of work, I'd gotten a severe case of strep throat. Apparently, I can't have that. I got a text from Entitled Mother at 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. Hey, just wondering if you're still able to watch my dog starting this Friday. And let's just say when I saw this, I panicked. I cried for nearly an hour because I knew that I couldn't handle watching her awful demon dogs with all this upcoming stress I had actually scheduled for. On top of this, I don't drive. The buses in our city will get you about halfway where you need to be, and then you have to walk. Or it's a 45-minute walk straight from my house to hers. And because Canada, it snows. And to top it all off, I have a hereditary blood disease that is wrecking my knees, and I can't walk for more than 20 minutes without one of my legs trying to collapse. It's not a fun life. I felt so guilty that it made me physically sick, but honestly there was no way I could watch those dogs without doing serious harm to myself mentally and physically. So I said no. So sorry, I'm not available. The internet always says to leave it at a simple no, at least all the sources I've ever read. Oh no, I guess I'll have to cancel my whole trip now. Her exact words. I felt horrible. I knew how bad she wanted to go on this trip and I couldn't believe I was ruining it. And then a bell went off in my head. That's a somewhat manipulative message. I didn't hear anything else from her until Wednesday morning. Again, bright and early I wake up to a missed call and a text saying, "Can you phone me?" And friends, I haven't felt so much anxiety from a text in literal years. As I'm gathering my thoughts, she calls again. I answer it with shaky hands and instantly regret it. What happened? Wow. No hello? Well, to be honest, a number of things. I'm emotionally drained, and I have strep throat, and to be honest, dogs make my anxiety spike. Even seeing my neighbor's dog makes me want to panic. Recently, I found that I need to be taking care of my mental health and focusing on myself, and I cannot do that when I'm taking care of anyone's dogs. I'm very sorry. But I need this trip. I've been crying for 3 weeks. My friends have already taken off the days. Look, it probably won't even be the full 10 days. It's hunting, so we'll be gone for at least 7, but we come home as soon as we catch an animal. We could be home on day 8. I'm really sorry. I need to be focusing on myself and getting myself to a stable place. I can't watch your dogs. But they're better now. I've put them in the kitchen and they have pee pads. They don't even have to go outside. I'm stressing out more at this point. I understand and I'm very, very sorry, but I cannot watch your dogs. Well, then I don't know what I'm supposed to do then. My son already booked his shifts and refuses to watch them. What if I pay you up front? I can't do it. I cannot be around dogs. I could watch them for maybe 2 days before having a breakdown, and I can't handle a breakdown right now. I'm sorry. At this point, I'm feeling absolutely gut-wrenchingly guilty, and I'm desperate to stand my ground. Well, fine. Can you text your friends and see if one of them can do it? I will check. My friends have to do school still. If I find anyone, I'll send them your way. Fine. Bye. I text 15 people. None of them can do it for various reasons. Curious, I Google city dog sitters. 15 different businesses and organizations pop up, most within a 10-block radius of her house. Still feeling bad, I send her a text with a link to a popular dog sitting app where she can choose how many days she'll be gone and how many visits she wants, and then it'll give her a list of 25 plus people in town who can watch her dogs if she'd give them a call. I don't get a response, so I'm thinking she's found a solution. And I still feel bad, but lesser so. At this point, I feel like I've done all I can do to help without crossing my personal boundaries. That is, until my mom gets home. Did you say that you dog sit for her? So I go and explain my side of the story, and she's starting to look angry, but doesn't stop me. I'm worried that she's gonna tell me that it's the nice thing to do and I should just help her out. Why do you ask? Because she sent me a text while I was at work complaining that you said you'd do it and now you're canceling on her. It didn't sound like you, so I decided to talk to you before I answered. I'm just not going to now. She's being ridiculous. Jaw drops. She decided to tell my mommy on me? My mom and I talk about it for a long time, and she agrees that I'm in no shape to dog sit and brings up how miserable it makes me and that entitled mother is being childish and needs to learn to take no for an answer. Especially because she'd been given 4+ weeks to make different accommodations. Y'all, my blood is boiling even more because today my dad brings up some extra good points. With an answer saying, no, I don't think so, it would be absurd to assume that I could do it and not plan anything else for 4 freaking weeks. It's not my issue. There are plenty of dog sitters in town. She can take her dogs with her or even board them at a kennel. If she really wanted to go on this vacation as badly as she's making it seem, you'd think she'd use one of the dozens of other ways to go. This woman was never told no, not by her late husband or her parents, and it's made her super demanding. That's why her son is so crappy to her. He's literally just standing up for himself. Now, this 60-year-old woman is throwing a tantrum because I'm prioritizing my needs over hers/her dog's. She's trying to manipulate me by saying things like that she's having to cancel her whole trip and that she's been crying for 3 weeks. And then texting my mom to try and get my mom to force me into it. And then trying to put the responsibility on me to find a replacement. She's expecting me to drop everything I'm doing to serve her because I've watched her dogs for her as a favor before. She's knowingly trying to force me into a situation that would be very harmful to me and doesn't see anything wrong with it. Basically, I'm sick of being a pushover, and you can bet that she's burned all bridges with me. I'm tempted to just leave her key on the step and block her number. But I'm deciding to be the bigger person, and I'm going to give her key back to her in person when I see her Sunday. Wow, that is messed up. Okay, first of all, good job to the Redditor, whatever you want to call her. Or him, I just assume it's a girl for some reason. But anyways, good on you for, trying to not be a pushover because, yes, people do take advantage of that. It's sad, you want to help people out, but there are those that see, oh, he's helpful as, oh yes, I can make that person my personal buffoon. But anyways, being the bigger person doesn't necessarily not cutting people out, okay? You can be mature about it like this person's deciding to do, like, go back, give the key back, and respectfully tell her, hey, bye, and to leave. Just cut her off completely because that is a person not deserving of your time, attention, generosity, nothing. This story is called Actual Karen Upset I Dyed My Hair. When I was about 15, I attended a very religious Baptist school. It was bat guano. On to the story. So at 15, I really wanted to dye my hair. My mother always had, and I was excited about trying something other than the dishwater brown I had. I begged, and my mom finally said okay as long as it was semi-permanent. I desperately wanted red, so off to Walmart we went. We found a foam mousse that said it lasted 2 weeks. Box says auburn. Sweet, natural color. Handbook says no dyeing your hair unnatural colors, cause God. So we dye my hair, and when it comes out, this crap is red. Like fire hydrant, Little Mermaid, cherry popsicle red. But it looks great. Lit as frog. I am thrilled, but I'm nervous and ask my mom if she thinks it'll be okay and if I'll get in trouble. She works as a teaching assistant at the school, and so she says she doesn't think it'll be a problem, and we head to school the next day. Also on this day, we're doing a volunteer day to stack wood for an old man. Welcome to New England. I get to school, and once inside, the hat comes off. It's a very small school. Entire high school is about 30 people and 5 teachers. Loads of compliments, teachers too. All is well, but not for entitled Karen. She's got a face like a shrunken sphincter, and she's been glaring at me all morning. I hate this goody two-shoes bimbo anyway, so I ignore her. Well, entitled Karen's mom is the receptionist for the school, and she doesn't like me either. About 11 a.m., I get hauled out of class and into the principal's office. Already very humiliated and not sure what's going on. I get there to entitled mother and principal glaring at me. Entitled mother claims I was bragging to everyone that I didn't have to follow the rules, and knows because entitled Karen told her, and that I thought I wouldn't get in trouble because my mom works at the school. My mom is a 2nd grade teacher assistant. I'm in high school? Also, I have said nothing to anyone. I've never ever been in trouble. Straight A student. Teachers love me. I'm a huge gosh darn nerd. Principal decides Karen, actual name, is definitely telling the truth. They say I don't reflect godly values with my sinner's hair, and I'm not allowed to go help stack an old man's firewood because I don't represent Christ with my sinner hair. I leave the office sobbing, and my old teacher catches me and asks, "What the heck is going on?" I sob/explain, and then head to the empty room I meant to sit in alone the whole afternoon while all my friends go off together to volunteer. On the way, I pass entitled Karen and entitled mother talking, and entitled Karen smirks at me. But old teacher has other plans. Legit the best woman ever. She goes to find my mom knowing this whole thing is BS. My mom loses her gosh dimmadang mind, and the room I'm in is next door to the principal's office. Shares a wall. I can hear her yelling. She goes up one side and down the other, saying she doesn't know what entitled mother's problem is, but if they had half a brain, they'd know Karen likes to stir crap up, and I'm legit a 15-year-old who has zero history of causing trouble. 5 minutes later, principal and a fuming Karen are in my classroom prison to say that why they don't think my hair is Christ-like, and I'll need to wear a hat the whole time I stack wood, I can go to the volunteer day. F you, Karen, and your sphincter goblin. Also, I was the best firewood stacker they had. Yo, what a jerk. The both of them, no, the trio, the principal, the Karen, the Karen mini junior man lady, demon lady spawn. Sorry, my brain was scrambling for the correct words to use. But geez, what a load of jerks, the lot of them. I'm sucking at talking, I'm sorry. This story's called, I don't care if that's your family's most sacred heirloom, give it to my daughter who doesn't even want it. When I was 17, I worked as an intern at a jewelry store. I would basically just help customers find jewelry, pay for it, and maintain the register. One Friday night, I was anxious to close because I was going to stay after hours to repair a necklace of mine. It wasn't anything too remarkable to a normal person, just a silver chain with an ebony ring in the center. But the history it had to my family is so important. The story goes that my great-great-great-grandfather, a French woodcarver, created that ebony ring with his own bare hands and carved both his and my great-great-great-grandmother's initials into it, and used it to propose to her. When he went off to war a few years later, he told her to, if he didn't make it back, tie the ring to her favorite silver chain so he could always be near her heart. He never returned, and my great-to-the-third power grandmother kept her promise, and it had since become a family heirloom. But anyways, I was just closing up when entitled mother and her actually decent child come in. Good evening, welcome to Paris Jewelers. How may I help you? Cut the small talk. My daughter needs a perfect necklace for her bat mitzvah and I want to see them. Now! I'm slightly put off by her rude tone, but I assume she's just stressed out and go to help her. After looking through all of our best necklaces, she's still not satisfied. No, where's your good jewelry? Ma'am, if these selections are not to your liking, I'm sure I can help you find another. I want that one. I look to where she's pointing and see that she apparently wants my necklace, which is clearly on my employee desk and not on the display cases. I'm sorry, ma'am, but that's not for sale. It's actually, don't lie. I want that necklace, so you're gonna hand it over. Listen, it's an heirloom. My family values it more than anything. Leave her alone, Mom. I can get another. The mom just dismisses her with a wave of her hand. I'm about to open my mouth in protest, but then my boss walks in. Is there a problem, ladies? Your little bicycle of an intern won't give me the necklace I want. She threw it behind the desk just so I couldn't get it. Mom, you know that's not what happened. Don't lie about— Shush! You're hysterical because this girl's being so mean! My boss looks at me, then back at the entitled mother and her daughter. He eventually turns back to me. Can you please show me the necklace in question? I go and get my necklace and show it to him. My boss knows that it is important to me, and he turns back to the entitled mother. Is this necklace you wanted? Yes. I'm afraid you're mistaken. This necklace is in fact this young lady's property. Now please leave, or I will escort you out personally. Entitled mother glares at me, but eventually grumbles and leaves. Before she takes off, however, the daughter says she needs to use the restroom. The mom tells her to hurry up before going to wait. The young girl then bursts into tears, apologizing for her mom's behavior and sobbing about how embarrassed she is. My boss and I felt so bad for her that we gave her an inexpensive bracelet for free and said a special mazel tov for her. Poor girl. Wherever you are, I hope you're free from your mother and living your best life. Wow, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was getting choked up when reading about her grandfather, or great-cubed grandfather. That's a really sweet and sad story, and you know what? I'm really happy the necklace stayed in her family, and I'm really happy that they all appreciate its value. Family heirlooms are something really cool, and I feel like every family should have one. Mine, I don't think does, but if you're like me and don't have a family heirloom or whatever, I say, why don't you start one like right now? And also, kudos to the boss and the Redditor for giving that girl the bracelet. You know what? That daughter was a good person, obviously. You can see how she's crying about how much of a jerk her mother was being. But anyways, moving on. This story's called I Am the Manager. This happened earlier this summer. I work at a small local bookstore and we have extremely strict return policies. Because, you know, books. Well, one day, this Karen comes in with her young child, maybe 10 to 13, holding a book that was obviously a mature romance novel intended for older audiences. She storms up to the counter and slams the book down. She says she bought this for her daughter a few weeks ago and was appalled at how inappropriate it was, and how dare we sell it. She demands to return it and have her money back, as well as we compensate her for emotional damage. The book is in horrible condition, torn, bent, food and stains, and she has no receipt. When I said she couldn't return it, she started screaming and demanded to see my manager. With only me and a 17-year-old girl working that day, we don't exactly have a manager. But because I had worked there longer, I was basically the manager. So I tell her to give me a second and walk into the back. I strut back up to the counter and say, "Hello, I'm the manager. How can I help you?" The look on her face was golden as she stormed out with her daughter in tow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.